Yo, this is King Shaka.
Do you know what Gwaan is?
I am a big fan of Gwaan.
I live in the UK and I enjoy tuning in to Gwaan.
You get to learn a new Jamaican patois word or even a Jamaican phrase.
I'm always looking forward for the great vibes, the great things. They discuss a lot of things that are going on in Calgary, across Canada, and of course Jamaica. So I encourage.
This is what is going on in Jamaica. But check out Gwaan.
I'm in Jamaica and I watch Gwaan every Friday.
Watch Gwaan.
It's very interactive. You learn a lot, and great vibes, great music.
Watch Gwaan.
Relevant and entertaining, so keep up the good work.
Watch Gwaan.
Tune in, share, listen to Gwaan.
Watch Gwaan.
I look forward to the patois word of the day, feeding my nostalgic mood with flavor and spice. Only Jamaicans can do that.
Watch Gwaan.
Big up yourself. Gwaan 2022. Bless up.
Greetings. Good evening again. You hear the man say, watch Gwaan. What I'm saying? Watch Gwaan. I want to say thank you very much one more Friday evening for joining us on our program here, Gwaan. It's our program for us, for you, and for me. All right. This is a program that tells you about Gwaan in the Canada with the Jamaican diaspora. All right. What Jamaican people are doing in and around Canada. So we learn activities, events about Gwaan in Canada from our Jamaican people. I would like to say thank you very much again for joining us. My name is King Shadrach, original reggae singer, original from Montego Bay. Now I live in Montreal. I've been your host for the past 3 weeks now. And I love the vibes of Gwaan. I love the vibes. I love the feedback. I love all the people that take part in the activity about Gwaan. See them, I love with the patois word of the week. I have a nice one this week for you. So personally, I want to say thank you very much. If you haven't joined us before and this is your first time, give us a like on our YouTube and our Facebook. Share with a friend, share with a family. Okay, go over there, tell somebody about it, tell them that your boy King Shadrach is the host tonight for Gwaan. All right. So I'm a reggae artist and I sing mostly roots music for the people. I'm like, for instance, I have a song called I'm talking to the world, not only my neighborhood. We want some unity, and we need that peacefully. Oh, Lord, peace, love, and unity. We don't have to war for peace, yeah. Peace, love, and unity. We don't have to war for. I'm talking to the world, not only my neighborhood. We want some unity, and we need that peacefully, yeah. Peace, love, and unity. That's one. Go check it out. You can go check me out at kingshadrachmusic.com. Once more, I want to say thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight and the program Gwaan. All right. First of all, say this morning I said to myself, say, Kuya. Say this morning I said to myself, say, Kuya. The Gwaan program. Like it gone international in the bus way. So I have to say big up for the support for all of the people that would support us now Gwaan, all right? And you know, in March is we celebrate Women Month, okay? International Women's Day in March. So for the whole month we've been celebrating our women and showing them respect and honor and our queens, make them know that we respect and we love and appreciate them. So with this month, want to say big up to all of the Queens, International Women's Day. So, but we do it under the whole month. We say respect, enough respect for that, right? And on so March the 21st, and we recognize that an international day for women. Okay, so International Day for Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Okay, yeah. Remember, March the 21st is the International Day for the elimination of racial discrimination. So so the whole of this month we are celebrating our woman, our queen. All right. So we've had very, very, very important topic throughout the month. Okay, so before we get any further, I'm going to tell you the pata word for today. The pata word for today is kuya. Kuya, that's the pata word for today, okay? Kuya, kuya. All right, this is the word I want you guys to comment upon the word kuya, what the word kuya mean, the pata word kuya mean. Make a sentence in the word kuya, okay? So we want you guys to write a definition, ask question about use it, ask a question about the word kuya. All right, so that's the pata word for the day is kuya. All right, kuya, kuya, kuya. All right, if anybody know it, make sure you put in the comment. Make sure you use the pata word kuya. If you don't know the word, it's all right. You don't blame me. We're gonna teach you tonight. All right, this is what Gwaan is about. Okay, so yeah, that's our pata word. So now we're gonna recap some of what we did last week, our show that we had last week. We had last week amazing. Last week was amazing. If you didn't get a chance to see the show, go check it out. We had Rachel Barrett Dawson last week on the What a Gwaan program. It was absolutely amazing. It was so empowering. Thank you very much again, Empress, for passing through. Yeah, that was a beautiful show last week. If you haven't got a chance to see it, go check it out on our YouTube channel. All right, it was absolutely fabulous. Check it out on the Facebook and the YouTube. Give us a like and go over there. Add us on the Instagram. Go check us out on our YouTube and our Facebook channel. All right, What a Gwaan. Tell them say King Shadrach. Tell you right there. So last week when we spoke, we had some great insight, on how to grow a black son in a police family. And what we took away from all of that last week was at the end we took away was like pick the tribe. Yeah, that's what we took away. We took away was pick a tribe. You understand? You have to pick your tribe and make sure so you know which tribe you're moving. So that's what we take away from last week. And we want to say thank you very much for tuning in, the people who tuned in, the people who used their patois word last week. That was absolutely beautiful. Now, definitely in Calgary, in Calgary, actually, JCA, hold on. In Calgary, JCA monthly meet and greet, games March 26, plus a special presentation on preparing for inevitable by the pre-planning consultant, Andrea Cox. So go check that out over there, all right? And next in Winnipeg, we have Liberal is launching his new album. Amazing. Congratulations, Liberal. Big up yourself. You don't know. On April the 14th. So go over there and check out Liberal as he launched his new album. All right? Make sure you make it a date and don't be late. Now, in Montreal, the Jamaica Association of Montreal is hosting their Easter Dutch Pot Brunch on April the 17th. Make it a date and don't be late. Go over there and tell them, say me saying that from 11 to 3. They're hosting their brunch over there. I'm going to be over there, good. So come check it out and come hang out and have some fun with it. And the JCA membership committee presents Zoom open house. That's on Saturday, April the 9th, 2022 from 6 to 8 p.m. So that's at the Jamaica Canadian Association Center. That's at Arrow Road, 995 Arrow Road, over the side of Toronto. You know, close to the airport. If you're from Toronto area, over Arrow Road. So go check it out. Tell them to me, send you. All right. and make it a date and don't believe. Okay, free tickets. Let's talk about free tickets also. You can win free tickets to the Communication with Confidence training program. And that program begins on April the 6th of 2022. And that's literally a virtual 4-week session. Okay, so all you have to do is to add a comment on Gwaan, explain the Potter word of the day, share the program, and after that, what we do is you will be entered to win a complimentary ticket. That ticket value $297. Okay, so go check it out to win this training program. And you have multiple entries also are accepted. And all comments and shares made up to March the 31st are eligible for an entry. So make your comment. We're going to put your comment into the draw. And April 1st, we're going to draw the winner. So you're going to get the winning prize over for that, okay? So like I said, that's what I go on in the news. You know, we have to give you what I go on in the news over there, okay? Now, we want to say the Potter word, kuya, again, just to remind the people who never hear it before. Kuya, the Potter word. Kuya, all right? Yes, Karim, big up yourself. Kuya, all right? Now, today we're going to be doing our regional focus. See, regional focus we're doing today. We're talking to the Peg City Steppers who are based in Winnipeg. They're doing several things, several activities as we recognize our 60 year of independence of Jamaica. Okay, so we want you guys to help me to welcome this lady, Shauna Goodbridge. Hello.
Hi, King Shadrach. How are you?
Hi, Shauna. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Blessed. You watching the show? You've been listening. What's going on?
Yes, man. I've been following along and loving it so far.
All right. So you get no Potter word yet? I mean,
Oh,
the kuya. You hear the Potter
you
word?
know how long I hear trying to come up with a sentence?
Okay. I'll give you a chance. Maybe by the end of the talk,
by the end of the talk, I'll have it.
Again. Come here, hear your strong accent, so me know say you know some Potter thing, right?
I know some.
All right, blessed. Thank you very much for coming to the program. I just want to ask you a couple of questions. What are the things that the Peg City Steppers are doing for the 60th Jamaican independence?
Well, so first of all, I'll just give a quick introduction of Peg City Steppers. Peg City Steppers is a local running / walking group here in Winnipeg. And we pretty much started, I would say, 2 years ago, January 2020, with a group of friends just trying to motivate people to keep it moving. If you know anything about Winnipeg, you know the winters down here.
Yeah, trust me.
Brutal.
Yeah, exactly.
Brutal. So, to start in the middle of winter was a tough one, but
wow.
It was just a way to keep each other motivated and staying active,
Yeah.
So it was a great pleasure when the High Commissioner asked us to collaborate with her to have a series of events.
Yeah.
So starting next week, March 27th through to April 30. April 3rd, we'll be having 2 main events. We'll be having a health and wellness seminar, which will pretty much touch on matters such as, how do we manage our mental health, especially during times like now. We have been locked down for 2 years, dealing with all kind of challenges, and a lot of people, struggle with managing mental health and just knowing how to deal with it. So we thought that it would be a good way to bring awareness to that topic and to kind of have that discussion.
Thank you so much for that.
So that's on March 27th at 5 p.m. CST, 6 p.m. EST. And as you can see from the flyer, we'll be having like a wide panelists. We'll be having guest appearances from the Minister of Health from Jamaica, the Minister of Health from Winnipeg.
Wow.
So it's big.
It's a big thing. It's a big
yeah.
Big,
and
big.
We're looking forward for everyone to come out and support. It's going to be virtual.
Wow.
So all across Canada, come
I'm
on
there.
out
I'm
and
there. I'm there.
Yes. So the second big event, which starts on the Monday following the seminar, is the fitness challenge.
Okay.
So, as we said, Peg City Steppers, we're trying to motivate people to keep moving. So for that event, we'll have a 60 kilometers. We're tying everything back to 60,
Yes, I
So
love
we're
it.
having 60 kilometers running or walking within that week. We're gonna have 3 live classes. We're bringing instructors from outer Jamaica. Everybody know Arville. He'll be doing the dancehall fitness session.
Kuya.
Queer. Exactly. You should have leave that sentence of it. Oh God. I'm going to teeth that. I'm going to teeth that.
Wow.
So Arville going to be leading us through the dancehall fitness. Then we have Stokely Rose that going to mash up the people with the boot
Whoa.
camp.
Whoa.
And our very own here, well, she's based in Edmonton. Cheryl Soca Fit will be closing out on the Sunday with a Soca Fit session to just,
Yes.
loosen up the bones after
I
all
love
of that.
it. I love it.
After all of that hard work.
That's
But
absolutely beautiful.
yes, thank you, man. So we're looking forward for the support. And once again, that is virtual as well.
Let me ask you something. How can people get involved in person? You talk about virtual, but how can people get involved in person?
Well, the event is largely virtual because, coming out of the pandemic, we wanted to, like, a lot of things weren't widely open when we started planning. So it's mostly virtual. But
Okay.
on the ground here in Winnipeg, our run group will be meeting up in the parks and
Okay.
doing knocking out some of the 60 km
Wow.
together.
Yeah.
But we also encourage people to, within their communities, if you have, any groups you're affiliated with, or even your family, your neighbor, you and them go for a walk around the neighborhood. Do it together, because the whole point as well is to build that engagement and interaction,
Yeah. So
So,
are you planning to have more events coming up, and where can we find these events in the future?
well, you can find all the information about this and other upcoming events on Peg City Steppers Instagram page. So it's Peg City Steppers, or on our website at www.pegcitysteppers.ca.
Wow. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Good luck over there. Thank you very much for joining. All right. And this is a
Thank you so
beautiful
much.
thing you're doing. And have yourself a beautiful day. All right.
All right, King Shadra, thank
One
you,
love.
and have
One
a good
love.
night.
Take care of yourself. All right.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes. Wow. That's amazing over there. Oh, wow. Listen, you guys, if you can join virtual, go join it. You understand? It's an amazing, absolutely amazing event. All right. Now, we don't want to take up all time for yourself, because we know say the general is backstage waiting. All right. So it's time to reason, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reason time a lot of us been waiting for. We're gonna introduce to you none other than the mighty Donovan Simon. What up? Wagwan.
Yeah, who there?
What Wagwan?
What's up, King?
Well, I'm there, I'm blessed.
All right, greetings,
How to
greetings.
take your job.
I noticed, but you know what? You have to prepare for stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I have some guests waiting and doing, and I don't want to keep them much
For
longer.
sure.
But before I
100%.
jump to that, do I have to big you up and say happy birthday?
Thank you very much.
Keep them on the show,
Bless you.
give you some vibes and some power,
One love. Thank you very much.
That's life. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, listen, we're going to have a reason
We'll talk.
with some people. I'm going to come back a little more, come talk.
We'll talk.
All right?
We'll talk. Love me, brother.
All right, folks, welcome to another Time to Reason. My name is Donovan Simon. And today we're going to talk about a really, really deep topic, mental health and the importance of self-care. And I have two awesome guests waiting to join me here. Camille Hannays-King, who has spent over 3 decades, doing counseling and psychotherapy. She come to us with a master's degree in counseling and psychology and a lot of service in the community, really keen on social justice and stuff like, just challenging others and structures and making sure that we all understand some of these key things. We also have Audley Coley, motivational speaker, fitness instructor, certified Toastmaster, somebody who has been a Bell representative on Let's Talk, right, which is a mental health focused program, and also the recipient of the 2019 award from Montreal Cares for Community Leadership. I can't wait to talk to them. So you know what? Let me just bring them on and start this conversation. Right? Let me bring them on and start the conversation.
Hello.
Camille, Audley.
Hello, good night.
Hello.
Audley, I've got to shift a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, no.
All right, Camille.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, the glasses pretty. We are. Oh, no, my glasses. We are.
I see what you did there.
Oh, pretty glasses.
All right. Well, your glasses kind of nice still, but look on the color of the shirt. All right. Listen, it's awesome to have you both on Gwaan, and we want to talk about mental health and self-care, right? Which is a serious topic. And, maybe, Camille, I'm going to start with you because in the last 2 years, there's been a lot of focus, even though, some countries have fly the gate, as we'd say, and the lockdown is not as stringent and the restrictions are being lifted. But a lot of people have been affected over the last 2 years. Let's talk a little bit about that and how mental health has become more of a focus.
Absolutely. So people have been affected because, we're social beings. And with the lockdown, what has happened is people have felt a sense of isolation. They have felt fear. They have felt a sense of unknown, feeling a lack of control. And psychologically, it affects our mental health because we need to feel that we know what's going on. All of us. So one of the things I want to make clear is all of us have mental health. The minute we use those words, people think we're talking about mental illness, but we all have mental health, which can become disrupted by changes in our environment, by changes in our lives. So the pandemic, what it did with changing all of the things that we know, all of our norms, it disrupted our sense of safety. It disrupted our own sense of selves, our sense of control. So absolutely, there was a lot of disruptions.
And, you use the word mental health, but I'm going to stop first at the word mental. Audley, think of the Jamaican and the Black culture. When you use the word mental, all of a sudden there are a lot of negative connotations. You've had your own experience. In fact, there's a book, Audley, that speaks to dealing with that. So let's talk a little bit about the cultural view on that. Why has the word mental been such an issue in Jamaican culture and Black culture?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm originally from Mandeville, Manchester. So we left Jamaica quite young. And what happened is anything that is considered mental or crazy or mad is taboo, because Jamaicans are very fearful because there's no understanding and there's no control. So usually when somebody act out in Jamaica, from my experience, it has to do with obi or voodoo or something like that. So a mental is something that is actually very new to Jamaica to describe somebody's situation. In the past, when they did have a mental health issue, it was always described more from the fact that they must have dope upon them, or there's some kind of a voodoo or something involved in their actions. So the fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good one, the fear of the unknown. Mm-hmm. So Camille, maybe help us with this a little bit. How do the families and the communities get greater understanding about this concept, and that is something that affects all of us in different ways, and how to deal with it?
And what you just said is so important because it does affect all of us, and it's in our language. So, what Audley said, when we talk about people with mental illness within the language, mad, sick, head no good, um, it's used to describe people. And historically, within the Caribbean, in Jamaica and other Caribbean islands, the British system was used where people who had mental illness were placed in asylums, but they were called mad houses. And then people were perceived as being dangerous, as being, as Audley said, having some kind of demonic possession or something. So, how do we go back and change culture and change language? Is with education. Families have to be taught, or culture has to be sensitized that people who have a mental illness is simply struggling with the world. And it could be sometimes it is genetic, it's biological, sometimes it's environmental. So we have to teach people that where the illness is coming from is it's not some demonic possession, but it can be from a host of things, and people can heal and get better.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit. 'Cause we're gonna drift into self-care. But Audley, I want to come to you with this one because you've been on this circuit the last 4 years. You know, you've done Let's Talk with Bell here in Canada.
Yes.
Is the community getting better at identifying and understanding mental health and the needs and the issues and how they contribute to addressing them?
Well, that's a very good question. But I found over the last few years of being a Bell Let's Talk rep, Black people in general are becoming much more verbal. They're becoming much more aware because one of the biggest problems we have in the community is accepting that we have a mental health issue, right? So you can fix if there's nothing wrong, you can't fix it. And unfortunately, it's not supported by the community, whether your family or your churches or so forth. Because as I said, even in my situation, I was diagnosed in my 20s with a manic depressive bipolar illness. And my family did not want to accept that there was something mentally wrong with me. They thought it was something demonic, and they wouldn't even allow me to take the medication that was prescribed at the hospital at the time. So it's just, we're getting a breakthrough now because even having this discussion, there's a lot more Black people in general that are seeking some kind of guidance or some kind of help. So there is, it's small, but it's happening because I said we're having this discussion. So obviously that's a good sign.
Right. And, you know, we talk about the communities, and Camille, maybe you can weigh in on this. In fact, both of you, the governments, right? At the end of the day, you know, we have all these levels of government, and they spend money on a range of different things. And even in Jamaica, do you think the governments are getting the extent of the mental health issues and the needs, and is enough being done by them?
There's a lot being done, but there's so much more that can be done. Because the need is so vast. And when you look at the stats, so many people who need help don't get the help.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you said the government, and one of the things that I also look at is not just the government that needs to respond, it's the organizations, it's schools, it's everything, because the government may infuse cash, but schools also need to hire counselors and therapists to work with their students. Organizations need to hire Black counselors to work with the population within the communities. So yes, the government can do more because mental health is underserviced, but organizations also need to be racially sensitized to the needs of our community and actively recruit more people who look like us, who can service clients who are begging for help, because Too often we have young Black people who show up for service and leave because they said, I didn't feel heard or I didn't feel the sense of connection. And so we need that. So yes, the government can do more, but also organizations need to step up and do more.
Here's where I want to shift with this.
Sorry,
Okay, go ahead, Audley.
Especially when it comes to Jamaica, I was very privileged to meet Fred Hicklin, who passed away a couple of years ago. And he was a major researcher in mental health in Jamaica. And he worked at Bellevue in Kingston,
Bellevue Hospital,
right?
yeah.
And definitely there has to be more money and more education in Jamaica when it comes to mental health issues. God, especially a lot of the violence and the gun violence and all of that in Jamaica is happening on a lot of these young people are suffering from mental health issues. Yes. They don't have places to live. They don't have food, right? And it has to be addressed. I mean, I reached out to Michael Leach and, as far as, getting involved and getting some money and building facilities. We need facilities in Jamaica where people can feel safe and go to and get proper treatment. Because unfortunately, a lot of the crimes that are being committed is because, as we discussed earlier, are people that are not well. Yeah, they're not well, and they need help. I mean, they need our help as Jamaican, and that's what I'm doing here in Canada right now. I'm trying to rally the troops to go back home to help our fellows, our country people in Jamaica.
Okay, sounds interesting. I soon come back to that. Here's where I want to pivot to, because as we talk about mental health, many times we miss the health side of stuff. People do exercise and they go on diets and they, eat organic and all the rest of it. And there's this new concept that has been buzzing about self-care, right? Camille, maybe let's jump into this a little bit, because usually, when I used to hear self-care a while back, I just think it's manicure and pedicure.
Yes, everyone thinks, oh yeah, let me go into the bubble bath and self-care. But in actuality, anytime you take some time and you put it aside for yourself, you're engaging in self-care. But self-care requires that you also spend that time looking into yourself and doing some introspection, some reflection, so that how am I feeling? Where am I at? What's going on with me? So you ask yourself some questions. That's an important aspect of self-care. So yes, the bubble baths are good, the manicure is good, but it's beyond that. So it's really, self-care is taking the time to check in with yourself, to see and to ground in yourself, which is such an important part, because we tend to be doers and movers, and it's stopping. Anytime you stop, take a breath and engage in that, even in the middle of the day, you stop and you say to yourself, how am I doing? Let me check in with myself. How am I doing? What's going on with me? Gwaan.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
What's going on with me?
Right.
And what's that niggling? What's uncomfortable? What's causing me that? And work with it. That's self-care.
Right. Oddly, there's the tendency when we hear a concept like self-care, even, I talked about manicures and pedicures, and the connotation is that it is focused on a gender, a specific gender. But this whole concept of self-care is gender neutral, isn't it?
It's very gender neutral, because you're speaking to an ex-dancer, okay? So I spend half of my life in front of a mirror, okay? So,
I love it.
So the fact is that studying dance, you see, I'm not your typical Jamaican by any means necessary. First, I'm a Black man from Mandeville, Manchester, and I excelled in ballet and jazz, and I became a dancer here in Canada. and it's not something that was not really, supported. So as a dancer or as a model or any, you spend a lot of time, as you say, on self-care. So it's not a gender thing at all. And when you feel good about yourself, then you feel good about your surroundings. And there's nothing more empowering than dancing or cooking. For instance, right here in Montreal, since the pandemic, we started at the Jamaican Association. Big shout out to Sharon and Mark. We got a grant to start a cooking show, which I started, called The Joy of Cooking. And our big chef is Shadrach, right? And we started this, and it was amazing to see. We did this for our mental health care. So just the idea of cooking hard food and bringing everybody together on Zoom and just watching them. And when Shadrach, we have to big this man up because he's going to get his own TV show for cooking. He's a musician, but we started a show here in Montreal 2 years ago, and it sell out. Right. So self-care, to answer the question, make sure you get your sleep. This is mental health talking now. You exercise and you eat. And I just said, when you do the bubble bath and the pedicure and manicure, that's extra. But you deserve it. Right?
Yeah. So, aren't there some cultural things though? If you look back at Jamaican culture, and even as we bring it here, I was thinking of dominoes. My father loves going out on an evening, spend a couple hours and play some dominoes, right? People, the party culture in Jamaica is pretty deep, right? So there are a number of things that within our culture that people do consistently, but they never saw it as self-care, Camille, did they?
No, and it can be because it's social and it's getting that sense of community, it's networking. And I think sometimes why people may not see it as self-care is that there can be sometimes some negative aspect when there's teasing or it's used as an escape instead of a nurturing. But when, the guys get together, whoever get together, and they have that sense of community and they can share and laugh and talk, that's good. The negative part is if it reinforces that man must be man. Right. And so if someone needs to be soft and needs to have feelings and they're not allowed to have feelings.
That's very true. Very true.
And
especially with the pandemic, if you were, as you said, we're social people, whether you're having a drink or dominoes or dance or so you're always interacting, and now you're drawn away from that. So you really lose your sense of purpose. And as the young lady said at the entry, where they're talking about getting together and walking and doing different community or just getting back out and connecting. And thank God for Zoom. That's how we stayed mentally and physically fit through the pandemic.
Right. So Audley, let's talk a little bit, and maybe Camille, as part of the process of dealing with health. How does coaching, how does taking time for therapy and spirituality fit into this whole self-care equation?
Go ahead.
Absolutely does. And they're all different. So when people think of spirituality, they right away go to religion. Spirituality is wide. I mean, your spirituality could be sitting under a tree and meditating. Spirituality is whatever gets you in connection with your higher sense, your sense of purpose, your sense of being. So whether it's meditating, it's reading your Bible, it's singing, it's writing poetry, it's your sense of spirituality. It's important that you figure out what makes you feel a sense of connection, a sense of hope, a sense of purpose. In terms of therapy, that is different from coaching, and they both have their different purposes. So if you need therapy, it's really important that you go. And I tell people sometimes the first therapist in you don't gel, and the second one in you don't gel. Don't give up on yourself. Find the one that gels with you when you sit in that office and it feels right, because your mental health is fundamental. It is so important. It's what you have. And coaching, it's when you're looking for direction, and a coach can help you figure it out. When you have those plans and you can't seem to get them together, the coach can help you figure it out and put the life action into place. They all have a space, and you may need different ones at different times, or you may only need one, but everything fits for everyone in a different time at a different space.
Right.
That is so true, because as you said, because most of us from Jamaica, the Caribbean, it's always back to religion. But when we come to North America, as you said, yoga, Tai Chi, meditation, as you said, just finding a nice quiet space for yourself where you can ground yourself and connect with yourself. And some people like Shadrach and certain people I know, they're more comfortable in the kitchen. In the kitchen is when they cook and they get the vibe and they write a song, right? So to each his own. And I find sometimes the best therapist is a friend or a family member, because a lot of things that I've learned, especially living in North America here, is empathy, right? Which is something like, sometimes you just need a sounding board. So you don't need somebody to kind of interrupt. You just need to talk and just clear your chest and feel better. So when it comes to the spiritual side, right, it's sometimes we always go to the church, or even family members, but finding a support group or finding a neutral person, a lot of times is the best thing. You just need that little escape.
Yeah. How do we get the message? And the clock is ticking here as we get to wrap up. Camille, how do we get the message across to our communities of the importance of the health element of mental health and the self-care practices? What are some of the things that we need to be pushing and getting across?
You're doing it right now. That's an example. And I think, within communities, as we keep doing things, the event that's going to be happening that was discussed earlier, all the events that we do, and we keep pushing it and we keep normalizing, because that's what we have to do. We have to normalize that mental health is part of your health. It's the same as your physical health. There is no health without mental health.
Yeah.
And we just have to keep normalizing that conversation. We have to let parents know that their children, they're not misbehaving sometimes. Sometimes they have a mental health issue. And it's not because there's something wrong with the parents or there's something wrong with the family, although there could be, but there's not something wrong with the family. Sometimes the child has a mental health issue that needs to be addressed. And once you put those resources in place, you're helping the child to have a better life in the long term. So we just need to be doing more, keep talking, keep normalizing, have it in our language, not laugh about it, not use, stigmatizing words, not use judgmental words, and be open. So when someone says, I'm feeling depressed, we don't say, oh, just go. We accept that. How can I help?
In a Jamaican culture, is a beating you want.
Yeah.
especially for the children. No, and they grow with that. Not true, Audley?
Yeah, but you see what you're saying is like, unfortunately, is the ignorance of the unknown we go back to. Because Bob Marley said it the best in one of his songs. Only you can free yourself from mental slavery. But you can't expect a parent that have an issue is that the blind leading the blind, right? Because first of all, my parents never accept mental health. And my grandparents don't, those are not conversations you can bring to them. I am the first generation that have actually gone out and seek help and come back to tell the story.
Right.
Because when I was in Jamaica, man threatened to shoot me and let me down already. Because you're a madman. So
Right.
I was able to go down to Jamaica, see that I'm not going to get any help down there. So I better come back to Canada, come take my medication, and go to the Holiday Inn, the resort, the hospital, or the madhouse, you want to call it here, in Canada, right? But I use the facilities here to bring myself back to a place where I can now go out and get paid as a controlled madman to be going out there now and educating other people.
Beautiful.
So as you said, the conversation, it's on. And when people see, first of all, they never relate to black, especially man, having mental health issue because we have been trained not to ball. You're getting licked, to stir.
We are ball for.
We are ball for.
Yeah.
Let me give you some ball for. Kuya, kuya, kupayo, we are ball, right?
Yeah.
That is abuse.
Yeah.
So now, us generation, we are in a position now that we can guide the youth and let them know, yes, if your hand hurt or something, it's all right. And especially for a big man to come and ball, because I was once told by my mother, why are you crying? I thought you were the strong one in the family,
Right.
and I didn't realize that I wasn't supposed to cry. And then after, the more she tell me I shouldn't cry, the more I bawl.
Right.
So
and, and that's a key point. As we get to wrap up, because part of it also is the pressure that we get from our culture to be a certain way and to respond a certain way to mental health. And it happens to both genders, right? There are many of our women, as we celebrate our women in March, who have gone through a ton of pressure, deal with a lot of hardship, but have had to put on a certain face.
Be the strong black woman.
There you go.
And to man up.
Right.
Man up. So we use those things that keep us in chains and in bondage and doesn't free us. So it's really important that we recognize, the things that we do with language, how it holds us. It keeps us from seeking help. It keeps us from reaching out and helping others. So it's important. Yes, absolutely important that women and men are human beings with feelings and experience, psychological experiences, everything. So Audley spoke earlier about, seeing people who experience gun violence. That's trauma. We live in a world of racism. That's trauma. We're surrounded with trauma. And so we have to give each other some grace and some kindness and recognize that the world, our social environment, has an impact on our emotional and psychological well-being.
That's beautiful. My grandmother, because I grew up a lot around women. My grandmother was very strong, and my mother, and so forth. So, but Granny always say you have to dance at home before you dance abroad, because we're always so busy trying to save the world, but we have to take care of things our yard, right, in the house, right, and the whole mental health and the whole training starts in the house. So now, like, even when I came out about my mental health, because once they told me, I accepted that I had a bipolar manic depressive issue, I went out and I researched what it really was. And it's not really it's not that mad. It's just like you have a chemical imbalance. But the fact, as I said, when I brought it back to my family, they looked at me and said, I don't know, because nobody else in the family mad. So it's not like they embrace you. And as you ask, what can we do for these, the generation now? We have to be empathetic. And when they do have an issue, open your arms and say, what a Gwaan? What's happening? Talk to me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it starts.
Yeah. And you know, maybe the word of the day is kuya, but the statement that I take away from you, Camille, is that we've got to extend kindness and grace. So as we deal with mental health and the importance of self-care, we've got to extend kindness and grace. That maybe is the gem for today. Listen, the clock says it's time to wrap up.
Wait,
This has been
Lord, me have a friend out in Calgary, Lord Rodney, and
man.
big shout out to Toronto, to the world.
I know Ludlow, man.
Hey, you know Ludlow? Everybody know Ludlow.
Everybody know Ludlow.
Everybody know. and if I come on this, I know shout the man out. I know the phone will ring as soon as I turn it on.
Oh, well, don't turn it on. That's not self-care.
Audley, you are a gem. Beautiful knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As I said, you have to go through certain things, and then at this point of the life, you can enjoy it and you can spread the joy.
Yeah.
And
thank you for sharing. Beautiful.
You can share.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
Sharing is caring.
This has been awesome. All right, listen, Audley, thank you. Camille, thank you for being Gwaan National. We appreciate the time and the contribution.
Thank you.
Make sure you tell them where they can get the book, you know.
All right, tell them. Misipa Amazon, Audley enough. Yeah, Audley enough. So tell them Audley before we go.
Yeah. You can go on Amazon, or we're going to be having a book signing at the Jamaican Association next month here in Montreal. These are the same pic that you see on the Bell Let's Talk. So all across Canada, usually see this for the last 5 years. And yeah, that's me with the bowler hat. Winston Churchill lent it to me.
All right, sounds good. All right, folks, take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, one love.
Thank you.
Right.
One love.
Awesome. That was a great discussion on the importance of dealing with mental health and self-care. Another part of what we do on Gwaan, right? Let's see if we can.
Wow.
Shadrach.
Powerful as always, man.
You know, say you could have cooked, brother.
Yeah. But yeah, I come from Jamaica, I come from, you know.
Yeah, that means you can cook.
Yeah. Most Jamaican man can cook, especially in our age group. That chef,
man burn water.
Yeah, man, I cook a lot. I enjoy cooking. I cook a lot. I do a lot of different kinds of dishes. You know?
Yeah, lots of comments today, right?
Self-care, man. Self-care.
You know,
self-care.
Lots of things, right?
Yes. I wanted to say control madman. Never hear that one before.
Yeah, that's a new one, don't you?
Yes, control madman. I love that. Audley, man. Sister Camille and brother Audley, thank you guys very much for passing through. Really appreciate that. It's absolutely beautiful.
All right, well, I'm going to leave it to you now for the rest of the thing. You know, you have to deal with this thing, all right?
Yeah, man. Blessed. Have a beautiful evening. Yes, sir. Oh, my goodness. What a show tonight. That was absolutely beautiful. We enjoy every part of it. Kuya. Look at Hooka. Me there a long time. That was Sharon. Yeah, I want to say thank you guys for actually, participating, being a part of the program tonight. It was absolutely beautiful. I'm enjoying every part of it. The speech, everything was absolutely nice. So the Pata word for the night is kuya. Okay. I want to check on the comments on the screen. Karin Thompson said, "Kuya, you're my big chef." Yes, you're a big chef too. Yeah, man. Let me see if you see any more comments on the screen. Yeah, I'm trying to find some more comments. We can't see any yet. Kuya Law from Can Twin. Yes, yeah, keep the comments coming. As I said before, you guys can win prizes. Karin, do you have Kuya? Look how come. Sharon, big up yourself. Kuya, I want to have a Gwaan. Karin, yes. Kuya, I want to have a Gwaan. I want to have an. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. So these are some of the comments. I want to say thank you very much for the comment. Them. Make sure you go over there and follow us on our YouTube channel. Follow us on our Facebook channel. Go and follow us also on our Instagram channel. Okay. So what's coming next week? Next week's gonna be a beautiful show. If that's what you want to know about next week, this is what's coming next week. The topic is sexual identity and the oppression of our women. We're going to invite special guests, Leanne Levers, Dr. Leanne Levers, and Camille Levage next week. So that's going to be going on Gwaan National next week. So make it a date and don't be late. Make sure you log in and come check out. This is going to be absolutely beautiful. So the topic is sexual identity and oppression of our woman. Okay, so please come in next week. Come check us out. And I love to see the comments coming in. Kuya, look what they are. Kuya, look what they are. That's from V Garnet. I'm just reading as we go along as I see the comments come up. Okay. So, like I said, go like us on Facebook. Go watch us on Facebook. Instagram also, and YouTube, Gwaan National. Tell them say, I'm me, Shadrach, say, if you check it out, okay? Gwaan National. Go check us. And listen, I haven't seen a lot of video sending yet. Send in your video, your Gwaan video. We're going to put it to the intro when it comes. I want to see some of my friends them send in a little video clip. I say, Gwaan. Just say something about Gwaan. Like for watch Gwaan. Enjoy the show, Gwaan. Yes, send in the video. We want to see your video, okay? And go check.
I live in the UK and I enjoy tuning in to Gwaan, being entertained and educated by issues affecting Jamaicans at home and abroad. Gwaan to me is like the difference between eating ackee and saltfish made from ackee in the tin and having ackee and saltfish made from the freshly picked ackee from the tree. It is packed with flavor. I look forward to the Patois word of the day, feeding my nostalgic mood with flavor and spice only Jamaicans can deliver.
Yes. I want to say thank you very much again. It was absolutely a beautiful evening on Gwaan program. And like I said, go like us over there on Facebook and our YouTube. And go check us out on Instagram also. You understand what I mean? Become a friend, subscribe, become a partner. All right? And my name is King Shadrach. I'm the host as always. Donovan, original. You don't know, is the interviewer. Who's the big boss in the place. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful day. Love you guys very much. And have a beautiful day. And we'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Power Gwaan. I'm talking to the world, not only my neighborhood. We want some unity, and we need that peacefully. Oh, Lord, peace, love, and unity. We don't have to war for peace, yeah. Peace, love, and unity. We don't have to war for peace, yeah. Yeah, man, Gwaan. This is the boy, King Shadrach. Make it a date and don't be late. Blessed.